Alrighty, so I think that should have everything. I got Cheetos, Doritos, chips, Fritos, Funyuns. What else is it that you wanted? Oh yeah, you wanted some kind of drink. I got a Dr. Pepper.
What? What? I don't want no Dr. Pepper. I wanted Hostess cupcakes, and I want some Gatorade. Wait, no. Yes, Gatorade.
Well, that's why you have that, and I have the Dr. Pepper. So, did you finish pumping yet?
Finished pumping, but I could not get my piss bottle on the ground. It is still down there.
We'll leave that for the gas station attendant.
Nice.
Alright, back on the road. Let's see, where did we leave off? Oh, this one. The Kobold, which is another fun little one to go into, because this one, for the sake of things, the Kobold here is based more off of Eastern mythology with it, right? With it being more dog-like.
Not real mythology, but yes, the more modern fantasy mythology, yes, because kobolds are actually, and this is something I was holding, the actual kobolds or kobold is German, and they're house spirits. So
yeah, I've actually got that note here. Abundant in German folklore, known for mining rich veins of cobalt.
That part may not be correct.
Well, it'd be correct for Musume, but...
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, I thought you were looking at real mythology. It's like, no, they're basically housekeepers. They're poltergeists that will either clean or pranks, depending on kind of how you treat them, what you put out for them. Yeah, the whole lizard, goblin, dog part of them, completely fantasy.
Yeah. Well, this is all fantasy.
Well, yeah, everything is a fantasy, but it's like it was made up by modern times, so it would have been like D&D, video games, all that made kobolds what they are now. Anyways, the original kobold is a ghost, essentially, and not a good-looking ghost.
Not a good-looking ghost. This one will help you run. The other one, that'll kill you.
Yeah, well, it'll do your laundry.
It'll do your laundry, then it'll kill you.
Make sure to leave milk for it.
But, yeah, kobolds here are another species that has, like, extreme sexual dimorphism, where the males look much more bestial, which we're just gonna throw up an example here for you ladies to ogle.
Yes.
But they are very, like, canines in the Musume universe are more canine in essence, because they have very good hearing. Their sense of smell is like 1,000 times greater than the humans. They have, like, their hands look a little bigger, but that's because it's also, like, their paws. They have the razor-sharp nails, which they actually do tend to file, just because the claws don't serve them much purpose. And their tails will give away their emotions like you wouldn't believe, which most of them hate, but it's a reflex. They can't help it.
Doggo.
Yeah, doggo.
That's all I got for it. Doggo. I am a fan of the dog kobold. I'm not... the lizard one, it goes basically dog, lizard, and then goblin-esque. All the lesser ones.
Yeah. I like the lizard kobold, but then again, I just love any fantasy creature, but...
Oh, that's the spot right here.
Like, Delicious in Dungeon kind of had me go, wait, what? When their kobold first showed up, it was just like, that's just a dog. Just a dog-faced man.
Yes. It's the first time I came across their, like, video game lore, because I knew the Poltergeist one before, but the first time I came across this one, I've seen lizards first, and then I actually played a game that had dog versions of them, and I was like, well, that's incorrect. This game's dumb. And I looked up, like, video game lore, I'm like, oh no, they're right. That's correct. And I was like, I like the dog versions a lot more.
All in all, I do love the Musume kobolds. Always very active and stuff, and like, I love the fact that Polt here is like a gym trainer, so she likes to burn that energy by helping others get in shape and stuff. It's always cool to see.
Yeah, she's a nice gym rat. I like seeing her whenever she came into the manga. I am biased because I actually like dogs a lot and I like kobolds, but I still have to add in the weird little poltergeist creature. So I want her to be an S, but ideally it also should be an A. I also love dogs to the point that I wouldn't want to get down with a dog. So I'm like, there's so many torn aspects of me. It's like, Oh, how do I feel about this? It's like, this is morally correct. It's like, she gotta be an A.
You must look at her as a woman.
She's also a dog.
This is what fantasy is for.
And like, also, according to my research, she's also a tiny little ghost. That will do my laundry.
She be your housewife.
Possibly stab me.
It's a great way to stay in shape.
That's true. I mean, I'll put her in S. I'm not gonna. I'll go against my instincts and go with my instincts.
All right, we'll put her at bottom S. She'll go beneath Tio.
How dare?
You want me to put her higher?
Yeah.
All right, Tio, you're losing to the dog.
Yeah, I do dogs over tall girls any day. Sorry, women out there. I'll choose my dog.
Well, this one should be pretty easy. The Killer Bee!
Yeah, that won't be long.
Basically, this is just an insectoid liminal. Very basic thing. She is more akin to like a hornet or a wasp than she actually is a bee, but the markings on her, it's pretty easy to tell the difference because they do have honeybee liminals, which are much more softer, a little fluffier, stuff like that. She is basically designed to be pissed off all the time.
She's an angry bee.
I think this is pretty common amongst the killer bees. They actually have like 5 eyes in total, with the 2 main ones being compound eyes, which, for those of you who don't know, compound eyes are the ones that like are made up of multiple eyes so they can like absorb more information. And they are also very, very fast when they're flying, able to actually keep up with centaurs speed-wise.
I mean, those flying creatures are quick. I don't know if you ever been inside a golf cart and you tried to outrun a bee in your golf cart, but somehow it's still keeping pace with you. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is one that's the size of a human, so... But one of the things that works against them, especially with their temperament, their wings give them away because they cannot be stealthy. It makes like a loud buzzing sound, so it's just...
Yeah, at least you get some warning sounds before they come for you.
Oh, no. And the venom in her stinger is also very potent. It's said to be even more dangerous than giant hornet venom. And actually, this is an interesting thing. If the venom is spread through the air like a pheromone, they're actually able to control other hornets.
Oh, kind of like queen bee logic or something like that.
Yeah, so she can actually control other, like, actual bees. I don't believe other, like, insect liminals, but she can control a swarm of hornets if you piss her off.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. That's kind of close to some mythological bee logic that I found in the past. There's not really a lot of it.
Well, if you want it even closer, she's very vulnerable to smoke, so it's like the bee movie.
So she's just a bee. I wonder if she likes jazz as well.
But I think that's for most of them. Like, hornets, wasps, and bees are vulnerable to smoke.
Most flying creatures, or most flying insects, don't do good in smoke. Mosquitoes, flies, gnats, all those, they don't do good in smoke. It's a good way to kind of get them hell out of there. Smoke them out.
And according to my notes, though killer bees may be able to fight off the negative impact of smoke if they are determined enough. So you can't, like, just throw a smoke bomb in the room if she's mad, because if she's mad enough at you, she's going to come through that door just hacking up a lung.
Sir, the smoke grenades aren't working. What do we do? Run, soldier. Run.
They're so mad.
As for actual mythological creatures, there is none. No bee women. They don't. There's nothing. Any of my research found back then, and I even re-looked into it, and there's nothing now. The closest we have is there's a witch in Europe, or a lore of a witch in Europe that can turn into a bee to, like, poison people and kill them, and that's as close as I got.
We can be bees.
That's essentially it.
Yeah. So, I think, like I said, I'm fascinated with insectoid liminals just because their biology is so interesting to me. But overall, for a killer bee, ironically, I'd probably put her at B rank.
I don't think a relationship with that would be healthy by any means. I'd be somewhere closer to, like, logically, a D would be bad, or deport this thing before it starts murdering people. But, like, if I had to meet in the middle, then maybe a C.
I mean, I'm willing to put her in high D, because, I mean, if you get with her and she gets pissed off on your behalf, it's really handy to have.
Yeah, but then she could also just get pissed off that you didn't do anything, and then she's gonna like kill everybody in the room.
Look, man, sometimes you got to roll the dice for love.
Not for that. That's a solid D for me.
You never know.
No, ain't no rolling dice for that.
No rolling lice.
No rolling dice, or your life, or anything. You just dead.
All right, so she'll go in the D tier right above Zombina.
Yes.
All right. Next up, let's get a little greenery in here. The Dryad. Effectively, these are also known as tree nymphs and are a long-lived species with lifespans that are equal to that of trees. The leaves that are on their heads are actually capable of photosynthesis, and their legs actually tend to act like roots than actual legs, which they will embed into the ground to absorb nutrients. They will also select a spot to claim their forest, and they will actually act as natural guardians for it and will tend to the trees, the flora, maybe a little bit of the fauna. Another aspect of them is their proportions are indications of their health and nutritional intake, which is why we have the two images here. The one on the right is like a well-nourished dryad, while the one on the left is one that's, malnourished. She's not getting enough proteins and stuff.
Quick, someone feed this woman. She is malnourished.
Which, another interesting thing is their hair color and maybe even the anatomy of their bark-like skin will actually change depending on the season. So when it gets to fall, their hair might turn orange or red, and at worst, the leaves will fall off. In winter, due to the extreme cold, their skin will turn a dull brown, and they'll often hibernate until it warms up a bit.
First hungry and now cold? Man, she's going through it.
Yeah, but they can circumvent that, if one lives with you, if they're in a comfortable environment, but if they're out in the wild and stuff like that, then they're more susceptible to those outside aspects.
Yeah, I got nothing really for them. Exactly how they portray them here is what it portrays for Greek mythology. Or no, sorry, no. Yeah, Greek mythology, because they just tree nymphs. They're minor nature deities.
Yeah. And, I like them. Plant liminals are always very interesting, just because they are that unique compared to, animal liminals. They're not exactly, inanimate object type things, but it's cool to see the different ways they go about it, because, they do have that, bark-like skin, which is definitive for a dryad, it seems.
Yeah. This is your basic depiction of one. They did a good job at it.
Yeah.
I've never really had much of an affinity for dryads or nature. But, they're not never really unappealing. Even the old paintings, they're made to look very attractive. So, yeah. I'd say a solid A.
Yeah, I'd say an A.
It's definitely high up there. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Get me out of there.
Yeah, I know you are not going above.
Give me a... Never. Not allowed. Not in my world.
Well, we've gone to the forest. Let's go to the sea. The Scylla. These are more like octopuses. Or octopi, whichever way you want to go about it.
Octopi.
They are also known as Caesalia, a demi-human species with the upper body half of, a humanoid, lower half of an octopus. They are actually heavily associated with Greek myth. Kind of, I think the main one would be the Kraken. Though there actually is a Kraken liminal. They are thought to be very aggressively solitary and reside in underwater caves. And some myths actually claim they have a symbiotic partnership with the whirlpool-producing Charybdis.
For actual mythology for the Scylla, it's the man-eating monster that lives on the side or lives in the water. It's the one of the two that lives in the coast. I forgot what this counterpart is, but it's a lot weirder looking than what we have here from Greek mythology. It's a creature. It's a woman that has multiple dog heads coming out of its chest or lower stomach, and has a tail of a serpent. So a lot stranger looking than the thing here. They definitely did base this one more off of a kraken or jellyfish or the basic kind of aquatic animal rather than the creature that's it's named from.
Yeah. I mean, she is very close to an octopus. She can actually use the tentacles with the suckers to climb up walls and stuff. There's a level of elasticity to the extra limbs. It makes it very easy for her to squeeze into places, kind of like you'll see like an octopus squeeze itself into like a jar or something like that.
Just slide right into the pipes.
Pretty much.
She's gonna come into the bathtub.
They also actually have an ink sac in their throats, which they can, use when they're in danger. The typical thing you'd imagine, like being able to throw up a smoke screen or something. But it can also be, like, involuntary. So, yes, like the little Nemo squid thing. It's just like, you made me ink.
Oh, I don't want to think about her saying that as she spits ink in my face like a freaking dinosaur.
That's okay. You might want to get a water-resistant pillow because apparently this can be so involuntary that when they sleep, the ink might dribble from their mouth.
It's a lot of stain sheets.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cute aspect of it. But...
I just don't know how much black dripping from your significant other's mouth is cute.
Not so much that, but the idea that, like, they will accidentally do that, like, when somebody drools out the side of their mouth when they sleep with their mouth open kind of deal.
That makes sense for an octopus. I will, regardless of the Greek creature it's named after, it's definitely taking more of a kraken or octopus appearance, so I'll just more or less base it off of that. I still have affinity more for water and sea creatures, so I don't know if I'd classify her as S, though.
I'd definitely go with an A tier.
Yeah.
Like, I do love her design and stuff like that, and the fact that in the manga and story, she's basically like the Ursula to the mermaids, which they put that on her so hard, it's funny.
They did. She was essentially created just for that. Yeah, A's fine.
She had a whole cave full of anemone.
Don't hurt yourself, though, kid.
See, I definitely think she would be...
Agreed. I like that element a lot more.
Yeah. It's definitely nice. Speaking of element, Yuki Onna.
Snow Lady!
Yep. Based off of the yokai, which I don't know the name of off the top of my head, but it's basically like the same thing that...
It's his name.
Oh, just the Yuki Onna?
Yeah. It's the same name. They weren't creative with it. I think they just called her Yuki, but yeah, Yuki Onna.
Yeah. I think her name in the series is like Yuki-O. But yeah, she is basically just the woman in the snow, which, if you're a fan of Pokemon, Frostlass is based on the same thing. Now, she actually isn't at the same level as, like, a salamander element, like, representation-wise, since ice is always a subsect of water and stuff like that. But she is very ice-oriented. They're actually not malevolent. Their stoic demeanor and natural environment, being hazardous to humans, actually has given rise to myths that they intentionally cause deaths. They do possess control over ice and snow, as well as being able to control temperature to, lower things. But that also, on the flip side of the coin, means they do not do well in warmer temperatures.
You know what? I'm realizing it has nothing to do with her, but that broom head looks awfully CGI'd and faked. Like, is that photoshopped real broom head?
It's definitely probably just taken like a straw kind of detail and tossed onto there.
That's so weird. I was looking at that the whole time. Took my eyes off the road just to look at that.
Probably easier than drawing the individual straws.
That's true. The funny thing about her that I enjoyed that I managed to make it to her spot in the manga is in one of the Japanese lores or stories or however you want to put it, is there's a situation where a Yuki Onna shows up at a gentleman's house wishing to marry him, and just it eventually gets to the point where he invites her in, and he invites her to the bath, and she's basically saying no. She doesn't want to go in there. She's trying her best not to go in, and as soon as he gets her into the bath, she basically melts into just a thin piece of like ice floating in the water. So when I saw that she had a hot spring and she was sitting in the bath, I was like, huh, that's funny.
It's like Olaf wanting to be in summer.
Yeah, it was a little nod towards one of the lores about her. I was like, I get it. I see what you did there.
Yeah. I mean, with her specifically, I think like she wears a thermal suit to deal with the sauna and stuff, but it's just like a diver suit.
She did in one case, but in the other case, she's just like, as long as it's not that hot, I can be in here. I'm like, it's not how your body works. If you're Yuki Ono, you've gotten lukewarm water, you just melt.
Yep. But overall, I do really like the design. Of course, having the bright blue skin to make her seem more ice-like, it's a good touch and definitely makes her look more spiritual. Kind of like with Lala and the Dullahan thing, making her seem more supernatural, which I guess she basically is because I don't think she's a ghost.
She's a yokai. She is a spirit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stories of them either melting or disappearing into snow and flying out of the house through like the chimney. So yeah, more of a spirit than anything.
Yeah. Overall, though, I think despite her looking so human, just like the overall design, I really do adore. I would be willing to put her in an S rank.
Oh, I mean, my complete bias is I loved everything Japan, yokais, and their mythological stuff. So, and she's also cold to the touch, and I run hot. So yeah, I'm good. That's an S.
All right. S rank.
Absolutely.
Now,
Sorry to everybody else in there. She wins.
So she going to the top?
I would rather be cold than covered in slime, but I also would like to be covered in slime. So to the top she goes.
Sue, give up your spot.
Nah, Sue's like no.
There we go. All right. Yuki at the top.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess.
I knew that was going to happen.
Well, we're going to slide over from the Japanese folklore to a little more, I believe it's Grecian?
It's Greek again, yeah. Straight to the Minotaur.
Yep, Minotaur. Now, the Minotaurs basically just cow people, but they're more defined by, like, the extreme horns, the ears, and their cloven feet. They are naturally much taller than people and much more muscular. Male Minotaur, which we're just going to throw that up there, are just cow-faced men with bodies that are like twice as wide as they are tall. They're basically the Kingpin meme.
Essentially, yes.
Just imagine Kingpin with the face of a cow and you have a male Minotaur.
Very, very stonky, very strong guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But most Minotaurs, at least in the Musume universe, tend to be more like farmhands and stuff, which is always kind of cool. They're usually lifting heavy things, moving animals around, and they are... Yeah. They are very resistant to hot temperatures, so funny enough, to circle it back to Yuki, they actually went to her sauna, and they almost killed a bunch of people because they were just like, this sauna is too cool. And they turn it up, and everybody else is just melting while they're just like, this is so nice.
It makes sense. They probably have really dense fur that would most likely just kind of like the water would sit on them. They can just accept the heat. I haven't heard anything really in Greek lore that the Minotaur is being favored towards element of fire to heat. There's really just one story on them.
I'm trying to remember. There was something with a Minotaur kind of linked with fire. But I think that it's also mostly due to like their thick hides and stuff like that, kind of like the orcs. But another funny, discerning aspect of the Minotaur, mostly with the females, they will have like white or cream-colored front to their hair, whereas the back will be like dark brown, black, stuff like that. So it kind of leans into the cow motif, where you think like the white and black spotted cows.
Well, it kind of has to, because the only thing that bugs me with the Minotaur for this is she's not possible. They can't be women. It's just not possible. They're essentially bulls and humans, which bulls can only be males. So if she was to be a Minotaur, she would just be a cow. So that's why I was like, the color pattern for her makes sense. That's where I was debating on this one. Is like, how do I measure this? Because if I had to measure it from the mythological side of it, it would have to be a guy. So I would have to judge and rate the guy one, not really her.
Well, I mean, if you want to rate the guy one,
maybe let me rate them both and put them in the middle then.
Probably about a B.
She's very attractive herself, And it's hard to rate the guy. The attractiveness, no, but like cool, yeah.
They
So I'd
are
say
beefcake.
yeah, she's like an A, and then like the Minotaur guys are cool, so they're like a B. So yeah, B would be good.
So basically, the males are standing in the B tier, holding her up to A tier, but by
It's-
default, it has to be beer.
It has to be B, yeah, because I have to
Yeah.
go at least something off the card. I know I broke the rules on a few of them, but for this one, it is a real mythological creature, but it only has one standing. They are just men.
That's fine. But the question is, where would she sit in the B tier?
Oh, you know my hatred for the shift shaper, so anything above the lie.
Shift shaper. Anything above the shift shaper.
It's a lie in itself. I must hold on to my anger.
Then I guess she would be beneath the salamander.
Yeah, it's fine, because fire nymphs are still cool.
All right. Well, if we want to go into more mythological stuff, then who better to go for than the satyr?
Yes. Yes, I do have things on the satyr.
Now, satyrs, are they Greek or Roman mostly?
They're Greek. Roman always has a little bit of splash of stuff from Greek. But
Says it here. Satyrs represent nature and fertility in Grecian and Roman mythology.
yeah. They are nature spirits. It's gonna fall into the same category, unfortunately though. They are only males. So, and they're very extremely horny males. And oftentimes they don't look very much like goats. They're more towards looking between goats and horses. So yeah, some of them can have horns, but mostly, especially as the time like evolved on, they would either just keep their horse hoofs or just have ears and still have human limbs. But a lot of them were walking around full commando with no clothes on, and absolutely would just chase after women, with failing oftentimes.
Well, that's basically what these lasses will do.
Yeah.
Because the satyrs in this universe, very sexual beings. They will sleep with, mess with anybody so long as they find them attractive. I guess they would call themselves like pansexual, that they will be with anyone or anything. They don't care so long as, everything's on the up and up. We talked about it a little earlier, but liminals, by nature, will succumb to their more bestial instincts or their more lustful urges under the full moon. Satyrs are unique in the fact that they will just go, yeah, no, we're already at 11. No shiny rock in the sky is going to make this any worse.
Yeah, they've done their research, for sure. That is the satyrs through and through.
But I do love them in the fact that they, as you can tell from the overalls, they're farm hands, which sometimes kind of backfires a little bit, but, helping hand is a helping hand, but, goats are a little mischievous.
Yeah. The only good one, in my opinion, is going to be Phil from Hercules.
2 words! I got 2 words for you. Put them in B.
Yes. That's exactly where it's going to go.
All right. B tier.
I unfortunately have to
I
give
know.
them the same treatment. I have to, put them up, but yeah, get that thing in the back of the bus.
I'm putting the shift
Not even back
shaper
of
to
the
the
bus. Put
bottom.
her in the back of the truck. She's in the box on the very back of the truck. Teetering off, falling off a little bit.
Just toss her back there with Sheen as the girlish screams come from inside.
Yes. 100%.
All right. Let's see. Where do we want to go next?
Oh my god, I did a thing.
What did you do?
Nah, nothing. Don't worry about it.
Kyle, what did you do?
I forgot we were driving this entire time, and I never turned on my GPS, so we just been going in circles.
Like from the Muppets, we just left Rhode Island.
We did. Yeah. We'll make it to where we're going eventually. I was wondering why we haven't made it to the place yet.
God damn it. All right. Well, I guess to damn you, we're going to talk about the Devils.
Oof. This was a thing.
Yeah. So, one interesting aspect about devils in general is they are, like, broken up into their subspecies. There is no, like, grand devil that is the head. It's just lesser devil, greater devil, elder devil. which the main differentiations between those, they all resemble humans, all possess horns, and some variation of like bat-like wings. They all possess some level of magic to them, but the Elder Devils, which is what we have here and what we are going with for the sake of, things, is like lesser and greater devils will tend to be more prankster-ish, whereas the Elder Devil, they are the most developed, highest class of devil, and they boast the largest average wingspan. They are the most long-lived species of devil, and as such are often calm and composed and beyond playing pranks. So they're the type of beings that are just like, I'm above childish things.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that I did not, even for the sake of this, look up anything really for it, because I never want to get involved in demonology. I've had a sibling who did that, I said sibling. Oh, yes. I have a family member who got involved in demonology, who had a lot of research into it, and there is a bunch of interesting stuff, but not my cup of tea. So I know Judaism, German, Islam, they are mainly the ones that will have a lot of devils. Devils and demons kind of dance on the same thread. So the demonology book will have everything for demons and devils of different ranks and powers and graders and elders and how long. So that's where she'd be from, if the lore is there. But I'm not looking it up, so that's gotta be where it's at.
I mean, if you want me to, I can go into a little bit of detail, because there are some interesting factoids about these guys. Like I said, devils, there's no like generic devil that's the main species, and these are the subspecies. It's all the subspecies make up the main species. But these are another set of liminals that can be male or female. Their horns are actually inherited, as well as the number of their horns. So, like, if 4 horns runs in their family, more than likely that will continue onwards, as well as, like, the shape, maybe a curvature, or, like, the one depicted here will have the wrapped around with the pointed ends. They will also, on occasion, trim the horns down if they grow too much, or some may even get them outright removed. They are able to employ magic and some psychic abilities, such as hypnosis. Their ears are actually capable of direction-focused hearing, mainly used for the purpose of eavesdropping, so I guess like bat-like hearing. This one I actually find very interesting, and I love the distinction. Akin to shapeshifters, some devil species are able to change their form, though their eyes remain the same regardless of who they turn into. So, like, Doppel, she can change her form entirely, including her eyes, because, as you saw, they were like black sclera with the yellow irises. But, like, the Elder Devil here, no matter what form she takes, she's always going to have the black sclera with the red iris. And possibly even the facial markings. So that's one of the dead giveaways of a devil.
Yeah, demons are known to take on many forms.
I just love that little factoid about them.
Yeah, I've been explained a few things about different demons and stuff like that. I've learned more than I've cared to learn for their species.
Yeah.
I don't mess with none of that voodoo. That's why she is deported on my book.
Oh, you're gonna deport her?
There's never in any world any reason to do anything with a devil or a demon. It's never gonna be positive. You might enjoy the time and you might enjoy the night, but there's gonna be a cost. Always.
Alright. Well, we gotta have somebody in the deported, and unfortunately...
You ain't taking my soul. I got Jesus on my side, and anime.
She's getting kicked out of the club.
Yeah. I got the power of anime and God on my side. Get out of here.
Well, speaking of God, let's go to the Undine, or Undine. I'm not 100% sure on the pronunciation. I know some will pronounce it Undine, others will say Undine.
I thought it was Undine, but it probably is Undine.
Yeah, I think it's a tomato type of thing.
Yeah.
But hey, if you know in the comments, let us know.
They're gonna say it's this, but they're gonna spell it the same way, so it's not gonna help us.
It's spelled Undine.
How could you guys not read? It's obviously Undine or Undine.
It's obviously this.
This is like
thanks. Anyway, So, like the salamanders, the Undine are associated with water and considered one of the four elemental liminals. But as Kyle pointed out, these would also be qualified as water nymphs. They are usually found in forest pools and waterfalls and are said to have very beautiful singing voices. And one of the more interesting things is the Undine, or Undine, are the progenitors of the slime race. So they are actually the ones who make slimes. I believe I put it to Kyle like this, to put it to like Pokemon logic. It's basically like a Manaphy can create Fione or breed to make Fione, and Fione can breed to make more Fione, but they can't breed to make another Undine type thing.
I mean, she makes the goo.
Yeah. Based on being like living water, she has full hydrokinesis. She can walk on water, no problem there. They seem to have a psychic connection to slimes, though it's not 100% sure if like their psychic link is strictly to like the slimes that are part of their progenesis, or if it's just like the Undine are able to psychically communicate with slimes and vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know for their lore. It's a European mythological creature. It's just a water nymph.
Yeah.
Some stories have it based off of them being made from alchemy, so man-made creatures that then turned into just water nymphs. But that's some like stories. I would assume if it whatever it created, if it is a maker of it, it would just be able to contact. It would be able to speak with them telepathically, especially if the thing can't talk.
I mean, that's what the question is like, if this Undine made like Sue, it makes sense that they would have the psychic connection, but it's unknown if like Sue met up with another Undine, if those two would also have a psychic connection. That's where it's kind of like unclear.
I would only assume it's creature based rather than creator based.
Yeah,
It'd be hard to say because it'd be weird if they couldn't speak to other species, because it's not like there's a gap of like being able to talk. It's just Sue can't actually speak any actual words, any language.
Yeah, she can speak.
Well, she forced herself into speaking. But yeah, then I don't know what the hell the purpose of her talking to them telepathically would be. Just talk to them like normal people.
Secret communication, Kyle.
I guess so.
Quick,
slime that guy. Got it.
Pretty much. But yeah, it's just unclear if it's like across their species or whatnot. It's a fun little thing to think about. Overall, I think it's a pretty good depiction, and yeah, pretty good liminal overall.
Oh, I need a vote for this thing.
You keep forgetting that part.
I was looking at something. I was like, let me move.
What are you doing? Focusing on the road?
No, definitely not that. I was looking at the bottle I dropped on the ground that I was trying to pee into.
That's going to go under the brake pedal, isn't it?
It is, and we will not be able to stop. I mean, she is a water element nymph, and I'm still subject to water, but I know nothing of her. And the nymph lore is just kind of okay.
I mean, if it helps, look at them thighs.
Those thighs. There's the gap. I'll put her nay.
All right. I think that's a fair enough thing. So I would assume she is below Poppy, but above the Scylla.
Absolutely.
There we go. So, above the water-dwelling creature, but beneath the one that is weak to the water.
Yes.
Now, you brought up alchemy, so I think it's about time we talk about this one.
I hate it.
The flesh golem.
I hate every second of it.
It's okay. So, the flesh golem is like a zombie subspecies, but it's different the fact of like how they're created. The flesh golem itself is a man-made liminal composed akin to like Frankenstein, which we're not going to get into that distinction. I'm not going to deal with that. I ripped my hair out trying to find out the distinction. But effectively, it is body parts brought together, brought to life through alchemy or science. This one in particular was actually created by Victor Frankenstein. So she is effectively Frankenstein's monster. She controls electricity, can control like magnetic waves to a certain degree, being able to turn lights on and off, overcharged things to the point where she can like bust light bulbs, fry cell phones, and stuff like that. It's actually pretty interesting, but yeah. Overall, she is technically a zombie. It's just instead of being a human who turned into a zombie, she is a literal reanimated bunch of body parts.
Yeah. I have. There's literally nothing on a flesh golem, but there is stuff, of course, on golems. It's a very Jewish culture thing. They're made from clay. They're not real creatures. There's even a lot of religious portions of them, too, in the lore that I'm not going to go into in a video. Golems are one of my favorite things in fantasy world, and I like flesh golems, and I hate the fact that they're really pushing Frankenstein on this girl. But I understand because, by definition, Frankenstein's monster is a flesh golem, as much as I hate it. Because it's not the same concept of how most fantasy golems come to life. Most fantasy golems come to life due to magic, not science. So she's the redheaded stepchild of how golems are made by bringing it to life via science.
Yeah.
So out of my anger, she can go somewhere in DRC. I'll let you decide that.
I'll put her at C because I like her. I enjoy her concept and stuff, and I love the fact that she actually does have unique powers. So
Golems are cool. I really like them. I like them a lot. Yeah. I like the more elemental golems. I'm not like partial to flesh golems since they are basically the zombies. But there is a cool I can't really call it manga, but more of a comic.
Nope.
Where she was essentially a flesh golem. And I really liked it. So yeah, C's good. Definitely high C. Yeah.
All right. So let's see. We'll go into not just that as a man-made one, but we'll dive into one that I am very, very fascinated in, and one that I will admit I am breaking the rules for a little bit. Because main thing I wanted to do with this is keep it to the manga lore, but this one technically shows up in the manga as a cameo, so I'm breaking the rules so she can be on the list.
That's fine. I accepted it.
This is a living doll, which a race of humanoid beings that resemble ball-jointed dolls in nearly every physical aspect. They are considered possessed items by human society. As a life form, they are literally described as a living soul inside the body of a doll. It is unknown how a living doll comes to be, if it's through a hostless soul possessing an inanimate doll body, or trapped inside one, like a soul that's exorcised and put into the body to, like, contain it, or if they're able to, reproduce naturally. Because, of course, this is Monster Musume. If you can't lay with it, then, But
doesn't belong.
They are a non-biological race, so they are not susceptible to most things that other liminals are, such as hot or cold. But this does mean they lack the benefits of, like, regeneration. So, kind of like how a zombie is, if they suffer damage, there's no real way to repair that beyond, like, outright replacing the part. But their unique physique actually does come with its own little downsides. Because they're ball-jointed, if you've ever had, like, an action figure or something, and it's got, like, a ball socket thing, if you hear that grinding, like there's grit in there, it's the kind of thing that they'll run into. So if it's, like, sand or dirt or something gets in those joints, it can wear it down. There's also a unique thing. Because they're non-biological, their hair is normally fake. But if it's a strong spirit inside of the doll, they will actually grow their own hair. So it's kind of a sign of, like, how strong a spirit is, if they have natural hair or not.
So if she's got a weave, you don't have to be afraid of anything. But
pretty
if that's
much.
Real, you gotta run.
And, of course, the last thing about them, they claim to be able to curse people, but this hasn't been confirmed. So it's kind of like that mummy from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Curse!
Yep.
Curse!
Tired of hearing your damn curse. Curse this. Curse that. This is cursed. That's cursed.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah, they were a fun one to look up because I only knew one mythological lore about them from Japan, and I was like, I've never cared to look up further. And it wasn't really a doll for Japan, but then I found out Japan does have an actual clay god. It's a hinagami, and it's basically a clay doll that you'd make look like a god of some kind, and then you can have it come to life. So that is the closest I found to her. Greek also has one called Galati. It's a statue that this guy made and just fell in love with it so much and prayed to the gods for it to come to life, and it did come to life. The power of love, so kind of close there too. And then there's one for Ukraine as well, which is terrifying. I'm going to probably say it wrong, but it's Mavka. Mavka. It's a spirit that looks like a young girl that lures men away to kill them.
Are they the ones that look like the baby dolls?
Kind of, yes, and they have they look more humanoid than toys, and they have no back to them.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so terrifying. But yeah, those are the things in Ukraine that will just murder you. And then you have the one in Greek, which was a touching love story. And then you have the things in Japan, which is one is the tools that, after 100 years of love and care and stuff like that, become sentient, real things, or living things, but they're still kind of tools. And then you have the Himigami, which is the closest to this as possible. So I'm going to more reference it on that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I was very fascinated in this one. I was like, that's a lore that I have not looked that deep into, and now I got to look into it.
Oh, yeah. Just doing the research on this one on my end from the Musume logic, because the main thing that we have to go off of is the online game with them, which I am hoping that a living doll truly shows up in the series itself proper, because I am fascinated by these things. Just learning their biology, ecology, and stuff like that, it was so interesting. It kind of made me feel like a researcher. So based on all of that, I would be very tempted to be putting it in the S tier, but I'm more comfortable putting it in A tier.
I say it has to go in A for only the reason is you love the lore that they made. I love the lore that's mythology has. But in the end, this is the month of love, and that's a doll.
Yeah.
So I'm good off of S. So
well,
that'll be A.
I mean, there is a certain doll that came out recently.
There's a lot of dolls that we can talk about in the human world, but I'm good.
You know specifically what doll I'm talking about.
Oh, I do, and I don't want to know. I wish I didn't know.
Sheen, shut up back there.
He's there. He's banging on the windows. He climbed onto the truck.
But I would probably put her...
I wouldn't honestly have her above the Druid if we're talking about, romantic or sexual appeal. It's still a doll on the end of it.
I guess.
Still above Mia because, Mia. It does make me sad. Like, it lore-wise and everything else, awesome. But, appeal? Not really. I guess it depends on what doll it looked like. I mean, it can take a form of a certain particular doll, and then it'd be very appealing to everybody.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, just in general, I love it so much. I love the lore, ecology, and stuff like that, and I would love to have this one explored more.
Unfortunately, Ricky, if it wasn't the month of love and this was just how cool the lore is, this would be a very different chart.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah.
Well, guess bringing it back to the cool factor, the dragon newt.
This one was a very quick research back into, because I already knew the answer to it.
Yeah. Now, they are very, very closely related to lizard folk, but they hate that distinction because they are a proud group of people, because they are more closely related to dragons and stuff, so they have that pride about them. But they're still kind of lizard-like in most aspects. They've got the scales and wings, and those scales are actually stronger than steel and able to block most weapons, and even they're slightly bulletproof. But they also require some maintenance, so like a little sanding down to make sure they're not too tough. They're actually cold-blooded, like Lamia, so again, can't regulate their own body temperature and stuff. Outside forces tend to control that. Like other dragons, they have a reverse scale, which is a scale that grows in the opposite direction of the other ones. They hate it when it is touched and will kill the person who touches it. It is extremely sensitive, as the sensation is being touched renders them docile and limp. As such, they may attack once regaining their composure.
Oh, the sweet spot.
Despite having wings, they're not able to fly because they lack the proper chest muscles to do so. So they more use their wings to like glide and such. But even then, that's still not easy for them to do. Their tails are extremely strong, though, actually able to withstand the entire weight of their body. But apparently, it makes it very hard for them to sleep on their backs, so they usually end up sleeping on their stomachs.
Yeah, that's a curse of a lot of these ones.
Most of them with the big tails that kind of arc out from their tailbone and stuff, it makes it very difficult for them.
Yeah, a lot of front sleepers.
Overall, it's like dragon folk or dragonborn, I guess would be the better term.
Yeah, they're unfortunately completely just modern fantasy made up.
Yeah.
There's nothing. The Greek have something. It's was it Drakina? And it's like, I forgot. She's like a queen or something that's supposed to be half human, half dragon, but not in the way that this is. And then, of course, there's a lot of also Chinese. A lot of dragons can shapeshift. That's just the thing. So
Yeah.
in Chinese lore and crap, what was the other place? There's a few places. I forget the other places, but a lot of dragons in most lore, especially in Asian lore, they can shapeshift into humans, but they probably wouldn't shape. Nothing's been recorded as them shapeshifting like this. And dragon newts are more of the descendants of dragons, where that's not a thing we have in actual myth.
Yeah.
So that means I get to do fair game. So I love dragons.
Yeah, I think, like I said, the closest I can think of is like a D&D comparison compared to the Dragonborn being descended from a dragon.
Yeah, and they have their own version of dragon newts as well. But yeah, Dragonborn is one of them. They have another type too that might actually just be dragon newts.
Maybe.
But I don't know. I might be thinking of Pathfinder as well. But it's a common thing in fantasy. And since I love dragons, I'm okay. I hate her as a character and her personality, but she also wins points for being a lesbian. So, as it goes. A dragon and as a lesbian, it's a winner.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
No.
But I think just for the fact that she is the way she is, I'm going to leave her below Tio. Tio wins out.
How dare you? I'm upset.
It's okay.
I'm disappointed.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, we can go back to Japanese folklore. The Kyubi no Kitsune.
Kitsune. Easy.
So, this one is, I believe, more classified as a yokai.
It is indeed a yokai.
Kind of based off of, the nine-tailed fox kind of thing. She's able to transform herself, which is, we have the two forms here. Her standard form, which is more diminished, and her transform state, which I guess, like, the tails kind of diminish the more progressed her form is. But they are said to... The more tails a kitsune has, as many as 9, the older, wiser, and more powerful they are. They have the ability to shapeshift, which, like shapeshifters, they can actually change their clothes, but I think it's more difficult for them.
No. According to the manga, when she first came into it, she said she couldn't change her clothes.
Let's see. Though they are able to change their shape... Oh, okay. They are able to change their shape. This is only the physical bodies. Unlike shapeshifters, they cannot change their clothes through this power. Thus, they can destroy their clothing through transformation. They can, however, change into physical objects, such as a ball, which shapeshifters are unable to do. So that's what the main distinction was. That the QB are, like, she's able to transform herself into a ball to be hurled at somebody, whereas, like, Doppel can't do that. She can only shift into, like, creatures.
That just makes me even more mad at the shapeshifter that is Doppel. She's even more useless, so she's literally not even a mimic. I'm disgusted.
I mean, she's able to transform at will with no, like, drawback beyond not being able to turn into anything non-living.
Pit her down. Pit her down. Get her out of here.
No, I'm not doing that.
Dang it. I hate it. I hate it.
I'm vetoing you on that one.
But
anyway,
she's so useless.
She's not useless.
She's abomination, part of the Rebel Alliance, and a traitor. Take her away.
Whatever you say, she's staying up.
Dang it. I do have
Look, man, she's already low as is. I'm not putting her any lower just because you have a grudge.
I have 2 grudges now.
Too bad. So, how do we feel about ill tales here?
They are wrong about some of her myths. So kitsunes, yes, yokais. They are fox spirits, nine tails. They are shapeshifters, true shapeshifters, because they are not limited by their clothing. They can change into whatever. So that lore portion portion they did on there is incorrect. If they did want to change it to a maiden, the kimono would show up on them. If they want to change to a man in a business suit, they would develop a business suit. They don't have to change into human clothes or start finding clothes to wear. It's like they can change into whatever. They don't have that limitation.
Do they need the leaf on their head, or is that strictly the tanuki?
That's the tanuki only.
Okay, I didn't remember if QB some of them used the leaves or not, or if that was strictly tanuki.
They did get the lore part about right. The more tails it develops, the older it is, the more wiser, the more powerful. The more dangerous it becomes. So they are very dangerous yokais. They'll show up for benevolent things, and they'll also show up for bad things. So I will still give her, because I love yokais, so I'm biased, so an S is always good for me. Although they got some of her lore wrong. But it's such a small part of the lore that doesn't really matter.
I mean, I'd be willing to put her at a high A.
High A is acceptable. I don't like her as much as... Oh, actually, I'd put her at the top of A, honestly.
Alright, so above Dullahan.
Yes. Sadly, only because this Dullahan is not my favorite Dullahan.
Yeah, it's understandable. She's my favorite Dullahan, so it balances out.
You need a C. Durarara. Celtics at best.
I've seen Durarara. So, next, we'll go back to the floral. The Matango.
Yeah.
This one is another fascinating one because they are classified as plant liminals, but due to... It's more like a generalization term thing. Kind of like the same thing with what was it we talked about?
The mangrove.
The mangrove?
Yeah. Wait, you talk about another creature in here. Talk about the druid, a dryad. I mean, they're the same plant S species.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. It was like something was like tossed in. It was the arachne, with no like distinction. They're just tossed into insectoid.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Matango kind of fall into that same thing of, despite not being plants, they fall into the category of plant-like liminals, so that's how they're like identified. But because they're mushrooms, they're more closely related to fungi. You know, like most mushrooms, they spread spores, though I don't know if that is to propagate their species or if that's just something that they happen to do. Hasn't been confirmed yet. But their spores produce a hallucinogenic effect if inhaled directly. They are deemed dangerous, but they have no control over the spore release, which causes them to harm others unintentionally. Like Kino here, she will like get startled and instinctively just like let out the spores, or she'll get bumped and just instinctively let out her spores. It's something that they're unable to control, even like through practice.
Mushroom creatures in games are always really cool and fascinating. I like the idea, and a lot of the concept art for them is really nice. As for mythological side of it, Cuba, Colombia, and Venezuela, I had to look this up because I didn't think there was anything, but they actually do have something called, I think, the Kayuri. It's some kind of mushroom monster that I think will like take children, or I think it's almost like a folklore where it's like, oh, be a good kid or else don't go into the forest, a mushroom monster will get you. But other than that, the only thing that really showed up for them is there's a Japanese horror film, like horror kaiju, if like back in the 60s, that if the people ate the mushroom, they became mushroom people like this.
So kind of like the cordyceps thing.
Basically, yeah. So there's not really something of them for myth. There's something for them for folklore, which is lighter myth, essentially.
Yeah.
As for like appeal, I'm not down for fungus, but like I said, I love the concept art. They always look really cool.
Oh yeah.
So cool points would land it into like a C or B for me. Doesn't deserve to be in D, even if I don't like mushrooms, but C or B would be fine.
I definitely put her in B because I love the overall design with like the mushroom cap acting as just like a giant hat to hide her face. And another interesting thing about them, that different species of Matango will have differing effects to their spores. Like Hino here, apparently, will like her introduction, she causes everybody in the house of the main character to believe they're in a fantasy RPG.
Hey, that just means you'd be having the best time of your life, even if it wasn't really happening.
So I would definitely put her at B tier. And I know, I'm moving her.
B tier.
Yeah,
I just realized who's in B tier.
yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, as long as she's above Doppel, I guess.
So now we're coming to the end with some of the more fascinating creatures. This one I think you were pretty excited to talk about. The
For
vampire.
the aspect of the one here loses brownie points. Actually, in general, look, that you can do it first. You can go into the vampire.
Okay. Well, vampires in the Musume universe, they basically kind of fall into the same category as you would believe most of the movie monster stuff. They hate garlic. They're not very fond of crosses. Not very fond of silver. They drink on blood, but it's not a fully required aspect of their diet. They can eat some other things, but they mostly get their nutritional intake from blood. And this is mostly because their digestive system is underdeveloped. So they can't, like, eat meats and stuff like that. It's mostly, like, soft foods that they can actually digest. They were actually considered predatory and associated as devils until around the 18th century in southeastern Europe. Because, humans were their primary food source, they were deemed to be evil beings and were feared for their ability to lure prey in to feed on them. And kind of like zombies, they can be like transformed humans, but it's the same kind of process that it's kind of like a viral infection. And unfortunately, vampires in the Musume universe are kind of a dying species. So the virus itself has kind of died off slowly. So the only way like a bite from a vampire is going to turn you into one is, again, if you are on death's door or if you are immunocompromised. Other than that, you're going to be fine. You're just going to lose a lot of blood because they're going to drink you. But another one of the interesting aspects of the Musume vampires is they, by default, always have the bat wings. So they're kind of like harpies in that sense. But I think they're like, their wings are a little better developed for handling things, but still not great. Which is why they will actually use a prosthetic hand, which in this universe they actually make those. But overall, yeah, it's basically a blood-sucking harpy with the aspect of, like, they're dying off.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into vampire lore for obvious reasons. If people who are watching this don't know enough about basic vampire lore, then it's easy. They're European mainly, but they're all over the world. It's all different types of vampires. I don't care for vampires in general. They were one of the first mythological creatures I started looking up. I was very fascinated with them when I was younger. And then I think Twilight happened, that ruined everything. um, this particular format of vampire, though, although I'm going to be like a hypocrite because I love harpies, I hate this vampire. I do not care for the bat wings, which is even weirder because I love bats. So, like, I'm a huge hypocrite. Like, they're pitting basically the two things I love together, harpies and bats, and I just don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, it might just be because of, like, the oversizedness of the bat wings or something. But I can understand why, but I genuinely do like this take on it. The fact that it's kind of, like, a change or an aspect of their form that they can't really do anything about.
It's fascinating, but when it comes down to the very end where it's like, is it cool? Is all these mixed things I have to think about? Then I have to go to the very default. It's February, the month of love. I don't want my blood sucked. I'm already not a fan of getting stabbed by needles, and that's going to be two fangs puncturing into my skin. Nah, I'm good.
Well, that's why you make her an omelet. It's soft and she can eat it.
No, that ain't happening. She's going to look at your neck periodically and be like, well, if I just do a little maybe scrape and lick, So that's a solid D or deporting for me.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to disagree. I would put her at the B tier because I love like the take on this from the regular vampire ecology and lore. Though I will also say that I always flash back to that one bit of just like, if you stab a stake in their heart, they'll die. And the vampire's like, that would kill anybody!
That's true. Well, comedy's sake and lore's sake, though, I'll settle at C just because romanticize, this is not it. Like, of all the vampires that people are about to romanticize this month, it is not this one.
I mean, you can still get her fake blood because in this world they do have artificial blood.
Still, though, that thing is not very attractive.
Yeah, like I said, it's up to your discretion. But
Eyes
yeah,
and beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I do understand that. That's
Yep.
why she's. That's why I feel like she's very fitting to be with a spider, because it's like a lot of people are fearful of spiders, and a lot of people are fearful of vampires. So it's like it is really something you have to like overcome. Same thing with orc.
So I'm assuming you put her above orc.
I put her above Arachne.
Oh, above arachne.
Yeah, I mean it's still a bat, and I still have some deep-rooted love of vampire. Oh, deep-rooted love of vampires. Although Twilight did do a assault number on them for guys.
They did indeed.
Once Bitten's what got me. I saw Once Bitten and I was like, ooh. It's like, give me those female vampires.
Yep. Now, this next one is one of the more fascinating liminals, I think. The Grimoire.
Yes.
Yeah, I've don't worry. You have the wheel of the truck, I've got the wheel on this one.
I have something for it, but not much.
Yeah. A text-based book of magic typically filled with instructions on how to create magical objects like talismans and amulets, how to perform magic spells, charms, and divination, and how to summon or invoke supernatural entities such as angels, spirits, deities, and demons. In many cases, these books are imbued with magical powers due to their contents or as security measures. This magical power has, on occasion, caused the books to gain sentience and become a form of liminal, though it is unsure whether the book is alive by most standards. So this thing kind of falls into kind of the same category as like a living doll, in that it's like a living object.
Yeah, that's literally why I end up writing down, why I tried looking up if there's a living book lore. I couldn't properly find anything, so Living Doll was the same premise.
Yeah. Now, what makes these guys unique is that they absorb information and the context of other books through an unknown mechanism, and they will use that information to project those ideas onto the world around it as it inscribes it. So, like, this one in particular was left in a manga library, specifically in a high school romance section, and it was absorbing all that information. And when the Mon Squad, which is a group that, takes on liminals and stuff like that, when they went to look for it, the book actually camouflaged itself as a manga, so it wouldn't stand out.
That is a clever disguise. It would fool me, that's for sure.
And they are actually able to absorb the consciousness of people who will open the book and look at it, which is kind of theorized as to why this book in particular did that, whether it was to hide or maybe make it so that people would open the book so it could absorb their consciousness. And it will take them into a world of its own making, which it creates a little sub-world, which in this case, this grimoire actually made a high school setting where all the people were, high school students. And because it was dealing with high school romance, it was pairing people off, having them fall in love and stuff like that. But that's all due to the information it gathered from those books.
Well, that's pretty cool. That is just straight out of fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
So it's an interesting concept.
Now, one of the other things is when it absorbs the consciousness, the people will fall into a comatose state, and they cannot escape unless the grimoire itself decides to let them go. So that's kind of why it's extremely dangerous, because if this thing decides, no, you are never getting out of here, there's not much you can do, because you're existing in a fantasy world. Another interesting aspect is in the top left corner here, is the book itself, which is technically the body or the liminal herself, whereas this form is what she created for her world, and later on projects herself as once she's let everybody go. So it's definitely cool that the book can make its own body and form, and I love the fact that like her iris here is actually the grimoire symbol, so it always has that level of like she is the book.
It is a neat concept. It is very much almost like weapon come to life kind of concept.
Yeah. I mean, that's why she had her own, like, entire volume to herself. Overall, like, my biases aside, I would put it at S because I absolutely love this concept.
I
like,
mean,
it feels like a general creature and threat.
I mean, out of coolness level, she'd be up there. If I'm going to agree with S, she has to be at the very bottom of S just because out of appeal, it's a book.
Yes. But it's a book that makes its own body.
Yeah, but is that body in real life, or is that you have to enter her world for the body to exist?
Nope, it can be in the real world.
Oh, if it's in the real world, then yeah, that's fine.
To my knowledge, it's in the real world.
As long as it's in the real world, that makes sense. But other than that, if I have to come home and go into a book to see the body and then get out of the book to go to work and stuff, no. I'm not dating a book.
I mean, I'm fine with putting her at the bottom of S tier just on the off chance, but to my knowledge, that physical body she can make outside of her own like inner dimension.
Yeah, as long as there is contact and love can be there, then yes, I am down.
All right, so I think that's pretty much it. We've got one last one.
We're almost to our destination as well.
Tree folk.
Oh, I mean that's a solid S tier at the very top.
Would.
Yeah, would.
I would.
Look at that. Look at that. That man is standing tall and ready.
Sorry, Yuki. You have been dethroned.
Yuki, that's the hardest thing on this planet, Yuki. You can't compare to that.
Yuki, get out of the way.
Yuki's refusing.
Get out of the way, Yuki. There we go. But, yes, would.
Would. Absolutely. Look at that thing. It's all of its
Would.
as it gets smaller, and all his majesty.
Definitely would.
Well, there you have it. Romance people of February. You gotta go out there and, get yourself a tree. You look at that ant in the background and you just go like, that tree can make its way into my bedroom.
Christmas isn't the only one that gets a celebratory tree.
That's true. It's coming around every season now. There's a reason why we put it in our houses.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Trees are sexy.
And they're so sappy.
Look at that. There's so many of them too.
Look at this one. He's got a beard. He's got a beard going.
You don't even have to settle for one. There's so many people there. They're all ready. They're ready and willing.
Yeah. And look, there's a girl tree right there. She's got a nice bush.
Yeah. I'll accept it.
Yeah.
We don't judge. A tree's a tree.
Yeah. I think we good.
That's actually what's in the back of the truck right now. It's just a tree. We took it from the park. It's ours now.
It's ours now. That was in the lease.
Yes.
But I think that will do it.
I am somewhat satisfied with that list. I would say most of the people got up there. I regret my decisions of picking to look into the lore for some cases.
Well, can't be helped sometimes. But overall, I think
Poor Poppy.
Poppy made her way.
Poppy would have been on top of my list. Top, even before the trees, believe it or not.
Well, don't worry. Poppy's still number one in your heart.
Yes, and now I know I have a new number 0 in my heart. It took this research to realize my inner hate.
It's all right. It happens.
Well, we are pulling up here.
Yep. Coming into the stop, we got a lot of shit to unload, and unfortunately, those two are going to be busting their butts to get here too.
That's true. We left them to go on foot. We took the only vehicle.
Cut to the house with those two standing outside. Now what?
What do we do? We grabbed an Uber for their significant others, but they walked.
Yeah, they kind of had to. We ain't going to make them walk. We're going to
No.
make the boys walk, but the ladies, nah.
Which I don't even know where you Ubered them to because they're not coming to live here. So
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know. We're not living here either.
No. Well, speak for yourself.
Hey,
Someone basically somebody has to carry me. So, it's all so I'm concerned. If you get out of the truck, I'm just stuck here.
You know, they got the child-proof locks.
I mean, I can't even reach the locks. I don't know how I've been driving this whole time.
I don't know how you reached the pedals, but you did it.
I did finally get my pee bottle, though, while we were talking about the Grimoire.
Oh, good.
But I don't need to go anymore.
Good. But that will do it, ladies and gents. So, hey, let us know if you found any of these interesting. And if you want to, let us know your own rankings. Or, hell, what was your number one? But, Kyle, my friend, I am very happy to have been able to do this with you. It was fun, enlightening, and, just nice to talk about something that we both enjoy.
Very true. I love lore no matter which way it comes from. And Monster Girls on top of that, there really is literally no losing.
Well, apparently there is, but...
Well, the tree won, and there was a loss. We had one loser, but she deserved to be deported.
Yeah. She touched the tra-la-la.
No. My ding-ding-dong.
But it is what is. But thank you all so very much for sitting with us and keeping us entertained, and we hope you were entertained as well. We hope you look forward to the next episode when it ever comes out, until we get settled into our new place. As such, this is our signing off. With me is... Damn it! Alright, so I got Kyle here, and he's signing off.
Yeah, you got none of the boys. It's just me. It's RK, and we are about to reverse into this building.
Oh, God.
And I can't see any review mirrors, so if there's anybody behind me, they will just die.
I think you just ran over Sheen.
Oh, that's even better. The S is here then, guys. He's just under the truck.
Yeah, I think he's dead.
Oh. Well, good thing is, we can reanimate him.
Yeah.
Flesh zombie!
The other good news is, you can't run away because you have no legs.
That is true. I will flop out of the vehicle, though. I'll just, blow in the wind.
Like dust in the wind.
The trash bag blowing majestically in the wind until I slap into a wall.
Oh. But thank you all so much for joining us. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Those of you who are single, hope we got to entertain you for a little bit. And if you have a significant other, what were you doing watching us? Why were you not focusing on your loved one?
What's wrong with your relationship? Get out of it. If you're not having fun in your relationship, go get a tree. You saw it on the list.
If you are here with us, what are you doing with your life?
I mean, I just look that good. Maybe they're here for me. Maybe I'm the one on the list. Maybe I'm S tier above tree.
Maybe. I mean, you can't go wrong with Puppa Pal Kyle.
That's true. Wait. I don't know about this anymore.
Metaphorical horny bonk.
I don't know about this anymore. There's only one thing people could do to me, and they can shove their hand into me. I don't like that. I don't want to be here anymore. I gotta go. Take my piss while I'm out.
Gotta go. All right, guys. We are out. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day, even though it's probably past.
Oh, for sure.
And we will see you all next time.
See you guys next time. Enjoy your lover's afternoon, night, evening, morning.
Au revoir, my friends. Bye-bye.
Bye.